हेलो नमस्कार, मेरा नाम है आरजे राज। आप देख रहे हैं 1700th एपिसोड ऑफ नागपुर मोस्ट हैपनिंग फेसबुक लाइव शो जिसका नाम है राज की बात। दिस इज एक्सक्लूसिव, दिस इज द ब्रांड मास्टर्स के साथ। ब्रांड मास्टर कौन होता है? ब्रांड मास्टर वो होता है जो पहले एक ब्रांड बनाता है, फिर उसके बाद उस ब्रांड को आसमान तक पहुंचाता है और फिर उसे मेंटेन करके रखता है। एक ऐसी लेगेसी को उस चरम पर पहुंचा देता है जिसको देखकर दुनिया सलाम करती है। ऐसे ही एक ब्रांड मास्टर से आज हम मुलाकात कर रहे हैं। पिछले 27+ वर्षों से वो नागपुर शहर के सबसे पॉपुलर ऑर्थोपेडिक सर्जन रहे हैं, सेंट्रल इंडिया के पॉपुलर ऑर्थोपेडिक सर्जन रहे हैं और अब दुनिया के टॉप मोस्ट ऑर्थोपेडिक सर्जन्स में उन्होंने अपना नाम दर्ज किया है। ना ही सिर्फ वो एक इंसान, लेकिन अब शेर के भी पुर्जों को ठीक करने वाले स्पेशलिस्ट बन चुके हैं। प्लीज स्वागत करें उनका, जिनको देखकर हर बार मैं एक ही चीज कहना चाहता हूं, सुश्रुत सर, आई लव यू। सर, first of all, congratulations and thank you for being a part of this episode of the Brandmasters. Sir, please tell us your story. कहाँ से शुरू होती है?
So let's start with 92. 92 when I
1992.
1992. So 1992 when I passed my MS Orthopedics, I decided कि चलो let's have something which we will or I will learn in Europe, I will learn in Americas and bring it back home as advanced technology. So England was a great experience. So one experience which I must narrate in England and from which all the youngsters who still aspire to go to England should know. So this was 93 December and I was working in a town called as Bedford and I was always wanting कि मुझे MCH डिग्री करनी है। तो लोगों को लगता है कि इंग्लैंड गया तो से इट्स अ रेड कारपेट वेलकम टू यू, इट नेवर इज। So I was applying for University of Liverpool because that's called as Makkah, Medina of orthopedics, and all MCH orthopedics is actually from University of Liverpool. So I was applying there. I was not getting on the post because they thought that I must work in England for at least 2-3 years and then get on the course to do MCH. I was married 15 days and I faced an interview. Unfortunately, some other person who had some pull and push, even in England because it applies there, got selected for the job and I was refused. I was asked to continue with the same post. I said, no, I don't want. Let me try University of Liverpool. Same day, I went to University of Liverpool. I told professor कि मुझे आप यूनिवर्सिटी में ले लीजिए, otherwise I am going to leave the country because I cannot work at a very junior position when I already am experienced surgeon in our country. He said, okay, we know about you. He saw the biodata कि आप आ जाओ. I went back to Bedford. I left the job. I asked my wife, 15 days marriage, कि आप चले जाओ, मुझे ये टास्क कंप्लीट करना है. Once I am comfortable, I will call you back in again. Number one difficulty was that professor from Bedford called professor from Liverpool कि आप ऐसे कैसे इसको ले रहे हो, ये तो हमारे काम कर रहे हैं. Liverpool वाला professor said he has already won 2 medals which I had won on behalf of Bedford Hospital. So he deserves more, so allow him to come. Once their fight was over, I shifted to Liverpool with one car, everything in my car, no accommodation available in Liverpool, only one slice of bread. All the money that I had collected was 80% spent during the marriage, 20% remaining was for the fees of MCH. 1 week I was living in the car on the back seat, going to public toilet for taking bath and doing everything. At the end of around 8 days, I got the accommodation. I completed the MCH course. At the end of MCH course, I was declared as the youngest orthopedic surgeon in the world to hold this super specialty degree.
Wow.
Now, the end result, everyone knows that he is the youngest orthopedic surgeon to get the MCH degree.
जी.
But what I had to go through for those 8 days, you have to really jump into fire or water to get to know all the fruits of success. That's England. And of course then I went to US, participated in many conferences, designed lots of implants which even today go by my name. Decided finally to come back to India and to work for my fellow countrymen. Days went by, 1998, 1999, when I wanted and I desired that I should have my separate name from the family or my father, and I should be a different entity known independent of my father. My father was already a giant name in the country and in the region. So I started going to Chhindwara every Saturday, Sunday. 2 years, 3 years of spending weekends in Chhindwara. We will go to Tamiya. We used to go to Tamiya, and my friends would come there on a Saturday, and we will have good time. That's how I ended up buying some property in Tamiya. तो तामिया वासियों को फिर मैंने फ्री ट्रीटमेंट करना चालू कर दिया. That's how I came across a person who was the tribe's का head in Patalkot. So Tamiya is on the top, valley is called as Patalkot. There are 13 hutments. The tribals are called as Bhariya because they lifted bhar or treasure of Bhosles who fled from British attack and went to stay in Patalkot. They lifted the bhar treasure, that's why Bhariya. They are actually ancestor is Gond tribe from Central India only. Anyways, so this guy was having fracture neck of femur, hip fracture, and he was not treated. He was in the cave for 8-9 years, not able to walk, was brought here. I operated him, hip replacement done, patient started walking. He made a rule amongst tribals that मेरे बाद देखो सबने सुनना है. So I was undeclared person whom these tribals will follow. Now if you all remember 2002-2003 Central India was having problem about weather. So anytime it will rain, the heat was too much, the winter was unpredictable. It was probably all claimed that it was related to global warming phenomena. It was not. It was related to tree cutting in Satpuras by this Bhariya tribe. Forest people, if they would approach these tribals, they would run away from them thinking that some official government person has come. Second trick these tribals were using was they will injure the base of the trunk of the tree and it will die off and then they will cut the tree. So it was a request made from forest to me कि सर आप हमारे साथ एक प्रोजेक्ट करो कि हर सैटरडे हम लोग ये 13 हटमेंट्स में विजिट करेंगे एंड यू टेल देम रादर देन वी टेलिंग देम कि ट्री कटिंग बंद करना है. So this was 1 year project which we did. Forest officials, me going in all these 13 hutments, educating them not to do or stop tree cutting. Of course they agreed because they had respect for me. After 1 year they came to me saying that डॉक्टर साहब हमने आपका सुन लिया, अभी हमारा रोजी रोटी का क्या? Because tree cutting was our रोजी रोटी. That's how with forest, all the tribal community and me as a third partner was born serendipity.
Wow.
So serendipity is actually all these 350 tribals working for 3 years, supervised by architects from Nagpur, supervised by engineers from Nagpur, who taught them civil construction, who taught them electricity work, who taught them plumbing work. 350 people worked and created this serendipity.
So 2003 and 4.
So we started in 2011-12 and we completed that project in 3.5-4 years. At the end of which 350 workers became skilled workers. So then they shifted to Bhopal, Nagpur, Raipur. Only 80 people remain. 80 people who were not willing to migrate because their elderly parents were there, whose land was still in Patalkot. They said, no sir, we don't want to leave this place. Now we are in a fix because now you tell us what to do. The resort is going to open next month. What do we do? So I pulled my strings and I requested ex-Raj officials to train these 80 people in housekeeping, in doing kitchen work. So if you visit Serendipity, and you are most welcome to go with Raj and he will take you around, all the workforce there is the workforce from Patalkot tribals who are trained to do this job in the resort.
Absolutely.
It's a 5-star resort. It's a luxurious resort because my vision also was, unless until you do it in a very professional commercial way, it will not run. To make it run and make it run on its own and to survive on its own, मैं तो सुबह 4 बजे काम करता हूँ, एक डॉक्टर आदमी हूँ. I am not like a business which can earn from 10 rupees, 100 rupees. Ultimately, I have to see a patient, operate on the patient, then the money comes. But for this, I had to develop a business plan so that I don't have to put in any more money. It has to run on its own. And fortunately, after 4 years, 5 years, it's a successful model which is run by a parallel employment which was developed for these tribals. And one more advantage which all the guests now tell me is they are so happy people living there. They are so enthusiastic to take you around because it's their property which they have built. So they feel that it's their home and a guest is coming to their home. So I don't have to educate them to greet anyone or to behave well with the guest. They feel that it's their home, so it's a great feeling. So that's Serendipity story. It's not, though it's a 5-star luxurious property, it's not a commercial venture. 60-65% goes to the salary of these people, Bharia tribals. 95% of the workforce is Bharia. So it's a parallel employment which was developed. So that's major contribution of me towards development of society. Of course, the tiger story which he always talks about, I ended up seeing this injured tiger Sahib Rao and I felt good for him and I pulled all my ropes. Orthopedic implants, whenever we develop implants, so for example, this is one.
So can you show it to the camera?
This is one implant which I am developing for fracture of the hip.
Right.
So whenever we develop an implant, it is actually tried on animals first. So animal experiments, veterinary surgeons, and then those equipments in human is always hand in hand. So I pulled my strings internationally to rope in vet surgeons, topmost in the world, topmost orthopedic surgeons in the world who gave the idea of artificial processes for this Sahib Rao. Today Sahib Rao, who was with loss of his paw, is painless, the limb is gone. Though he did not eventually accept artificial limb, he still is without any pain. So that's one achievement. So every human being, though he is trained in a particular stream, I feel today's world should contribute to other streams where he can make a difference to make world a better living place for generations to come. It's not only orthopedic sales, so I will be only orthopedics and I will restrict only to treating my patients. No, cannot be, it should not be. You must pass on your experience to, of course, your peer, which I do by contributing and holding conferences and giving lectures and teaching it to my peer, which is orthopedics. But also, if I have the quality to contribute to the society, why not? Why should one restrict only to medical field? It must, the knowledge must extrapolate to all the varieties of fields where we can contribute and share. Thank you very much, Raj.
सर आई हैव अ फ्यू क्वेश्चन, कैन आई आस्क यू? सर जब आप यूके में पढ़ रहे थे, यूएस में पढ़ रहे थे, सर आपके पास वापस आने का क्या रीज़न था? सिर्फ परिवार, या फिर सर आप वहाँ भी रुक सकते थे, वहाँ भी काम कर सकते थे, वहाँ भी रह सकते थे?
So good question. I was in US and so my elder daughter was born and I have named her Sanskriti, which is culture.
जी.
That shows my inclination towards always coming back to India.
Mm-hmm.
What triggered was she was young, she was a tiny baby and she was in the back seat. I was driving my Chrysler New Yorker, very fancy car.
जी.
It's a long car and I always love cars. And once I was attacked by some goons on a petrol pump. Second time I was attacked in Manhattan when I visited New York by another set of goons. So that time I wanted to take a decision where I should which environment I should make my child grow.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely did not want a violent environment wherein my child should go. So despite of H1 visa, which would have easily got converted to green card, and an offer from my fellowship director to join his practice, I refused and came back to India.
Sir, with 27 years of practicing, sir, डॉक्टर सुश्रुत बाबुलकर के लिए challenges क्या है?
Every day is a challenge, every moment is a challenge, and if it is not, then you are dead. So the challenge is not only orthopedics, the challenge is how to teach youngsters, what methodology to apply, how to make tribal life better, how more you can uplift the downtrodden society. So for example, last weekend, if you go and see on the Insta or Facebook, last weekend, Friday, Saturday, I floated another organization which is called as Patalkot Tribal Welfare Foundation. Now, let's say these 80 people are working in Serendipity, but their wife or their elderly parents are doing nothing at home. So from Nagpur, we took around 8 artists who would teach them their lost art. So we found some caves there who had some hand paintings of pre-human era. We morphed them, we made them better with the help of artists in Nagpur. We taught them how to paint it on the pottery or kullad. We taught them this painting to be done on canvas. So this is a Bhari art.
So can you show this? Yeah.
So this is Bhari art. So we taught them, the artists, not me, but Nagpur artists taught them how to do it on online canvas, how to use this molded to create. So I gave them the idea. So this can be bought by visiting guests as a memento. Wow. Money goes directly to that person who is the artisan. So even elderly people who are sitting at home can do something better. Now I always thought that for an artist it's very difficult to sell a product, right? So I told them that okay, you create kullad pe painting, you create this art, and Serendipity will buy it from you. So Serendipity, for example, Serendipity has a high level accommodation which caters around 300 guests per month. So I wanted to give something back to the guest because he's paying so much, huge. So I will buy it from the artisan I'll pay them immediately because tribals are bothered about immediate money. You know, everyone is, even me and you. So I will give them the money immediately, and I will gift it to that visiting guest as a gift from the serendipity. So market is also created. A raw material I give the tribal earns money. I will give the guest. So the tribal doesn't have to go on the street trying to sell his product, which people, you know how difficult it is to sell. So that's the latest thing. So bottom line, every day, every moment is a challenge. And it should be, right?
सर जब आप बाहर निकलते हैं, आप नागपुर शहर में घूमते हैं, भारत के शहरों में जाते हैं, सर कौन सी ऐसी चीज़ है जो आपको ऐसा लगता है कि बदलनी चाहिए? सोच बदलनी चाहिए, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का रवैया बदलना चाहिए, सरकारों के बनाए हुए जो पॉलिसीज हैं वो बदलनी चाहिए, जो असली बदलाव की हम बात करते हैं, किस किस्म का बदलाव होना चाहिए सर?
See, when I came to India, one must convince himself कि यहाँ पे ground rules are different. It's going to take donkey's years to change and bring badlav. So you cannot influence to a great extent where it should happen. So how do you do it? How you do it is you create your own trust or foundation, and you don't beg people for money. You fund it yourself. Why do you want कि मैं एक कुछ फाउंडेशन बनाऊंगा, वो लोगों को हेल्प करेगी, लेकिन मैं फंड गवर्नमेंट को मांगते बैठूंगा? Then you are answerable to government. You want to do something good for people, you do it yourself. You create your own ideas, how you will fund it, and this small idea will eventually grow. So if you say कि मैं पूरी दुनिया को सिखाऊंगा कि आपको ट्रैफिक में कैसे चलना है, it's very difficult to do that. So you create. So for example, next week is our conference which is called as TraumaCon. It's the biggest conference in the country. So now this time what is going to happen is we have created a niche session which is called as TraumaCon studio, wherein Mandira Vedi will come and take interviews of faculty and delegates, and she will transmit it. She will ask questions कि Doctor sir, यदि if you see a accident victim and an onlooker, what is your suggestion to that onlooker, and that will be transmitted. So rather than teaching people at large, and how can I teach? So I will transmit it through an effective medium which is celebrity interviewing us, and she transmitting it. It gets, in India, 3 things rule: religion, cricket, Bollywood. So you use these 3 mediums to influence society.
सर राइट नाउ टेलीविजन इज ऑल अबाउट पॉलिटिक्स. सर समाज सेवा आपने इतनी की, कभी पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में नहीं सोचा?
नहीं सोचा.
नहीं सोच रहे?
नहीं सोच रहे.
नहीं सोच रहे. सर डॉक्टर्स की इस फ्रेटर्निटी में, इंडस्ट्री नहीं बोलूँगा, आई टेक माई वर्ड बैक, फ्रेटर्निटी में सर देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ कंपटीशन ऑल्सो. सो सुश्रुत हॉस्पिटल, ये जो आपका हॉस्पिटल है, ये सर इतना बड़ा ब्रांड कैसे बना? क्या रीजंस हो सकते हैं?
क्वालिटी ऑफ वर्क. यू कीप ऑन डूइंग क्वालिटी वर्क, इट विल ऑटोमेटिकली राइज. डोंट बी आफ्टर नंबर्स, डोंट बी thinking of competition. You follow your own path, people will automatically follow you.
You never believed in publicizing or promoting Sushrut Hospital. Why?
Because again, if you have good quality of work, your patient will bring another patient. You don't have to publicize. It's health is one thing which is 100% mouth to mouth bringing the patient. Rather than mouth to mouth publicity, it is mouth to mouth bringing the patient. So one patient brings another patient.
Sir, this is my last question. सर, अगर ब्रांड मास्टर्स की एक किताब लिखी गई और उस किताब के एक सुनहरे पन्ने पर ये नाम लिखा गया, डॉक्टर सुश्रुत बाबुलकर, डॉक्टर सुश्रुत सुधीर बाबुलकर, सर उसके नीचे कौन सा ऐसा कोट, कौन सी ऐसी लाइन, कौन सी ऐसी बात लिखी रहनी चाहिए जिसे पढ़ने के बाद एक ब्रांड बिल्ड करने वाला एक युवा इंस्पायर हो जाए?
Robert Frost, Woods are lovely, dark and deep. I have miles to go before I sleep.
Sir, wishing you all the very best. Sir, you have been, the inspiration in my life as well. I wish, I pray आप ऐसे ही फिट रहें, आप टूटी हुई हड्डियों को जोड़ते रहें और आप हमें ऐसे ही इंस्पायर करते रहें. आपने अपना वक्त दिया, आपने हमसे बात करी, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sir,
Really want to thank Fortune Real Estate
really
for
inspiring
taking this
and
initiative. Want to thank IP Vastu. Can't forget to thank Corporate Connections and Mega Power Solar Energies. आपसे फिर होगी मुलाकात with one more brand master. तब तक आप अपना ध्यान रखें, सुरक्षित रहें, स्वच्छ रहें, स्वस्थ रहें, मस्त रहें, खुश रहें, व्यस्त रहें, परिवार के साथ एक अच्छा वक्त बिताएं. और अगर आपके परिवार में एक छोटा सा बेटा है जो अपने फादर की सबसे छोटी उंगली पकड़कर चलता है, उनके पद चिन्हों पे चलने के वादे करता है और समाज में एक बदलाव लाने की कोशिश करने का प्रयत्न करेगा, ये वादा करता है, तो समझिए वो डॉक्टर सुश्रुत सुधीर बाबुलकर बन रहा है. जिंदा रहें. जय हिंद.